This is Redrock Bike Co. They're a bike shop in Moab, Utah. They rent mountain bikes, gravel bikes, and e-bikes. They run a workshop, and they do a couple of guided rides a week. And this is their booking page, where most of their bookings come from. Every bike is on here with its sizes, what it costs, and what's included. Someone's picked a high tower for 3 days and added a helmet, so that's in their basket now, with the price already worked out. 3 days at the 3-day rate, the helmet on top, and the tax underneath. They put their name and email in and go through to the checkout. The waiver is part of that checkout, so they sign it here and now, rather than the shop having to chase them for it before they turn up. It's already filled in from what they typed a second ago, so there's only the signature left. Then the card. The security deposit gets held on the same card at the same time, so it's one payment instead of two, and nobody has to ask them for a deposit again at the counter. And that's the whole booking, paid for, waiver signed, bike reserved, while the shop was shut. Not everyone knows what they want. This one's never ridden here, rides blue trails at home, and that's all we know, so they just ask. In plain words, the way they'd ask someone behind the counter. And Dash reads the actual catalog, what's in stock, what suits a first-timer on slick rock, and comes back with real bikes and real reasons. Not a search result, not a filtered list. It knows what these bikes are for, and it knows what's sitting in the shop right now. So they pick one and just say, book it for the weekend. And it goes on from there, checks the dates are actually free, works out what 3 days costs, and puts the bike in the cart with a checkout link ready. That's a sale that would otherwise have been an email somebody answered on Monday. First thing in the morning, this is the screen the shop opens. It's the whole day in one place. Who's coming in to pick a bike up, what's due back, and what's still out from yesterday. So this morning, there are 11 pickups booked in, 4 bikes due back, and a couple that haven't come home yet, which is the first thing you'd want to know. It's broken up by the different parts of the shop as well. Rentals, the guided rides, the workshop, and the store, so you can see which one is busy today. And underneath is what the shop has taken so far, so you're not opening a spreadsheet to find that out. This is the calendar, and it's the quickest way to see the shape of the week. Every rental laid out by day, what's going out, what's coming back, and how busy each day actually is. You can switch between a day, a week, or a month, depending on whether you're answering a question about this afternoon or about next month. Or you can flip it round and look at it bike by bike. Each row is one actual bike, and on the day view, you can see which ones are already spoken for, hour by hour. What's earning its keep, what's sitting in the shop, and where the gaps are if someone wants something specific. The guided rides have their own tab, every departure this week, and how many seats have gone on each one. And when somebody's on the phone asking whether you've got something free, you don't have to go anywhere to answer. Check availability, pick the bike, and there it is. How many are left, hour by hour, right through the week. Click a slot and you're straight into the booking. First one through the door. Here's their booking, who they are, what they're on, how long they've got it, what they've paid. Handing it over is its own step, not a checkbox someone remembers to tick. And if the thing has parts, this bike packing set has several, You tick them off as they go across the counter, so there's a record of what actually left the shop. Marked picked up, deposits on file, they're gone. And the shop knows exactly what's out and who has it. Every bike in the shop has its own barcode, not one per model, one per actual bike. So instead of picking a high tower off a list and hoping it's the right one, you scan the bike that's physically in front of you. It comes straight back with which bike it is, what size, and what it's doing right now, on hire, back on the rack, or in the workshop. Everything that bike has done sits on the same record, every booking it's been out on, and its own activity log. When it's free, and every workshop visit it's had. That's what makes handing one over and taking it back quick, and it's why the stock figures mean a particular bike rather than just a number. Somebody's just walked into the shop wanting to hire a bike for an hour. There's no booking, so you build one at the counter. Pick the bike they're taking. This one's a gravel bike, and set how long they want it. They're only out for an hour, so it goes on the half-day rate rather than getting charged for a whole day. Then add them as a customer while you're talking to them. Name, email, phone, and they're on file for next time. Then you take the payment. Card, cash, whatever they're paying with, you pick the method and record it against the booking, so the money and the booking stay together, and the end of day figures add up on their own. And that's the whole thing done at the counter. It's the same booking you'd get off the website. Same record, same rules, it just started here instead. Redrock runs two places, the shop on Main Street and a depot out at the Moab Brands trailhead. Both are set up properly. Their own address, their own opening hours, their own stock. So every booking says where it's picked up and where it comes back, and the two don't have to be the same place. And the board knows where each bike physically is, location by location, so you're never promising somebody a bike that's actually 40 minutes up the road. This one isn't a booking yet. A company wants a set of bikes for a team day, and they need a price to take to whoever signs things off. So you send them a quote, and quotes sit in their own list rather than in somebody's sent folder. Open it, and it's a proper spread. Several different bikes, the numbers of each at the same prices you charge on a normal booking, because it's built from the same catalog. This is what the customer sees when they open the link. They can read through it, sign it, and accept it online. And when they accept, it becomes a real booking with those bikes held. So the number they agreed to is the number you invoice. Tomorrow's skills clinic has people on it who haven't signed their waiver. You don't find that out by opening 12 bookings one at a time. It's one list, everyone outstanding, across everything coming up. And it chases them for you. A polite reminder on a schedule you set once, and it stops the second they sign. Nobody at the shop typed a word, and nobody's signing on a phone at the counter tomorrow morning while the queue builds up behind them. Redrock run guided rides as well as hiring bikes out, and this is the screen for them. Every ride going out today, what time it leaves, how many people are booked on, and how many seats are left. It also flags the ones that haven't got a guide assigned yet, so you find that out here, in the morning rather than at the trailhead. Open a ride and you get the list of everyone on it, their name, the booking they came in on, and whether they've signed the waiver. As people turn up, you tick them off, so the guide knows who's actually there before they set off, and anyone missing is obvious. Seats filled, people checked in, and the ride can go. Out at the Trailhead Depot, whoever's working isn't sitting at a computer. It's the same shop on a phone. Today's pickups, what's due back, and what the shop has taken so far. Any booking is a tap away, with who it is, which bike they're on, and what they've paid. So when a rider drops their bike off out there, it gets checked back in on the spot. You pick the bike off the booking, confirm it, and the shop in town sees it straight away, rather than someone remembering to say so later. And you can just ask it things. What's still out? Who's running late? It answers off the same numbers the counter is looking at. Through the afternoon, the bikes start coming back. You pull the booking up. Checking it back in is its own step. You go through what's coming back and tick it off the same way it was ticked off going out, so there's a record of what actually came back. Then it's closed off, and the bike is straight back in stock, ready for the next person. Unless it's come back damaged, then it goes on the workshop board instead, and it stays unbookable until someone sorted it. The workshop covers two different things, and it's worth separating them. First, the shop's own hire bikes. Anything that comes back damaged or is due a service goes on this board. While a bike is on here, it can't be booked out, so nobody hires out something that's mid-repair. Open a job and you get the history. When it came in, what it is, who's on it, and any notes. You can attach a checklist so a service gets done the same way whoever picks it up, and each step gets ticked as it's actually done. The second thing is work customers book in a repair or a tune-up on a bike they own, which isn't the shop's stock at all. Those have their own list of jobs you offer, each with a price, how long it takes, and how many you'll accept in a day, so the counter knows what it can promise. This screen is every email and text a customer gets from the shop. They're listed in the order they go out, the confirmation when they book, the receipt, a note before they arrive, a reminder, and a nudge if they're late bringing the bike back. Each one has a switch, so if you don't want a particular message going out, you turn it off here, and that's it. And if you want to change what one of them actually says, there's a link straight through to the wording. That opens the email itself, the subject line, the text, the bits that get filled in automatically like their name and their booking dates. You edit it here, and every customer gets the new version from then on. Back on the list, you can set all of this separately for each part of the shop, so a guided ride doesn't send the same messages as a bike hire. At the end of the day, this is where you look. What the shop sold, how many bookings came in, and how that compares with the day before. You don't have to build anything, it's just there. And you can split the sales by which part of the shop they came from. Rentals on their own, the guided rides on their own, the store on its own. So you can see which bit is actually earning rather than one number for everything. There's also a set of questions you can just click, like revenue this month against last month. It works it out from the bookings themselves, so it's the same figures you'd get if you added it up by hand. You just don't have to. Everything you've seen runs off records like this one, a single bike in the catalog. This is the high tower, its photo, its description, and the price the customer sees. Under inventory, you've got every individual bike, the sizes, how many of each, and which shop they're at. Each one has its own code, so the shop tracks that exact bike rather than just a count. Pricing sits on its own tab, a half day, a day, 3 days, a week, each with its own rate, so a long hire is cheaper per day without anyone working it out at the counter. And what the customer reads, what's included, what to bring, is part of the bike itself, so the booking page is never out of date. A lot of what a bike shop hires out goes together. A family wants 4 bikes, a couple of helmets, and a trailer, and they don't want to pick each one separately. So you build it once as a package. Inside it, you pick the actual items that make it up and what the whole thing costs, and it draws down the real stock behind it. So if the trailer's already out, the package isn't available either. And this is the part that matters. On the booking page, the customer just sees the package at one price. They pick their dates and book it in one go instead of hunting for 4 bikes and hoping they've got the sizes right. And the people. Everyone who works there, mechanics, the people on the counter, and the guides, each with their own login. What they can see is set by their role, so a guide gets their rides and their own hours, but not the takings. The roster is where you put people on shifts, who's working which day, who's on the early one, and where the gaps are before they become a problem. They clock in and out on the day, and those hours land on a timesheet ready for payroll, so nobody's adding up paper at the end of the week. That's the whole thing. One shop, one system.